Hello everybody, my name is Rachel and welcome to my channel Kalanati. Today I am reviewing After Atlas by Emma Newman. This was one of my most anticipated books of 2016. It's one of the last books I read in 2016, and this sounds really familiar, a lot like Planetfall, but it also ended up being one of my favorite books of 2016. After Atlas is set in the same universe as Emma Newman's previous science fiction novel, Planetfall, but it is not a direct sequel. It takes place on Earth about 40 years after the ship Atlas left Earth in Planetfall. The action of this book is a murder mystery. The main character, Carlos Moreno, is a detective for the Ministry of Justice, and he is assigned to investigate the grotesque murder of a man on a business trip to the country. Carlos is the best that the ministry has, so they want him to clean up this delicate case quickly and without a lot of fuss, because the victim, Alejandro Casades, was one of the most powerful and well-known men in the world, and it turns out Carlos knew him and was raised in his cult. And then Carlos starts to uncover what Alejandro was really up to, the true nature of the Circle cult. It's stated very early on what some of these characters' basic connections are to the events of Planetfall. Carlos was abandoned by his mother who left on the ship, and Alejandro was going to be on the Atlas crew, but he was cut at the last moment. And then during the investigation of Alejandro's murder, the whole world is hotly anticipating the opening of a capsule that the Atlas crew left behind. They want to know what was so important that the Atlas crew would put this in a capsule for them, and what is the Pathfinder Lee Sumi's legacy for the Earth she left behind. I am going to compare After Atlas to Planetfall a lot because I love that book so much, and I think that After Atlas has a lot of the same winning ingredients, just used in slightly different way. One of the first similarities is that once again in the story we have a mystic or a demagogue at the center. In this case it's Alejandro and his Circle cult and how he influences and motivates and draws people to him. And in Planetfall, that person was the Pathfinder Lee Sumi and her Atlas project. I think that the addition of characters like these and their cults of personality really help create the atmosphere of these books. And also like Planetfall, and After Atlas, there is this rising sense of panic that something terrible is about to happen. In this case, it's an external force bearing down on the main character, Carlos. He is trapped in a cage, and on a daily basis he has to choose between small pleasures and extending his slavery to pay for those small pleasures because he is owned by a corporation. He has to weigh every word and facial expression to convey confidence rather than pain so that his owners won't punish him, and he has to do this all while hiding his own traumas as he is investigating the murder of a man that he once considered to be his father. I loved the feel of this book. Like Planetfall, it uses a first-person narration that really makes the story immediate and emotional. Carlos's voice is very different from Ren's, but it is still very powerful. It maintains that rising suspense that something shocking is behind the curtain just waiting to be revealed. While Planetfall was about mental illness and anxiety and the toll that takes on its main character, After Atlas is very much about a world in despair that has broken its systems of justice. I'm going to come back to Carlos's situation again and again because I think that his situation of being an indentured person is the heart of what is terrible in this story, and it is awful to see what happened to him because he has tried so hard to survive, to save himself, to find freedom, and at every choice that he's had, it hasn't worked out. You could call his situation indentured labor. I think that is rather how it is described because people like Carlos are working off a debt, but it is so extreme and unforgiving that I want to call it what it is. It is systemic, legalized slavery, and it's all the more terrible because it is faceless, it is corporations doing it, and it demands that the people who are enslaved be thankful for their situation. A few more quick points about why I absolutely love this book. First, the use of everyday technology continues to impress and fascinate me. I just really love what Newman has done with extrapolating today's technology, particularly cloud technology, and using it just like this. There are advanced personal assistants, virtual reality, backing up data to cloud storage providers and asking where does that data really go, and self-driving cars. And lastly, the ending is good. I'm one of those people who acknowledges the weaknesses of Planetfall's ending while still defending it, but I wanted After Atlas to have a good conclusion, and it is. It is solid, it's a little dizzying, but it has a great cliffhanger, and it just makes me want more. I completely recommend this book if you can't already tell. If you love Planetfall, you will love this book. Even if you just liked Planetfall, this is, I think, perhaps a better book and more likely to appeal to many people. I do think that you can read this first if you want to. It won't spoil Planetfall, but I think it will make more sense if you read Planetfall first. Thank you so much for watching this review. If you want to talk about After Atlas or Planetfall, leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you, and I will talk to you again later. Bye. I filmed most of this video with the dog behind my head because this is her new trick, getting up on the back of the couch. I think it's because she can see out of the window. She's gonna be doing this a lot now.